Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today I have the opportunity to work on a reel that I really enjoy. It's the Daiwa Millionaire II. It's the 500M. It's a high-speed reel. This one was sent in by Tom. Tom sent me a series of reels, and well, we're working through them, and I thought this one would be interesting. The original Millionaires really were kind of almost an exact duplicate of the Ambassador reels of the time, and well, they changed the design. I think they had to. I would suspect that the folks over at Boo probably got really upset when they saw almost a direct copy of them. But the Millionaires were changed, and well, we'll see which one is inside this. I'm not quite sure. Take the nut cap off and the little shield, and that exposes the handle assembly, very much like the Ambassador. And well, we're going to take this reel apart completely. We're going to show you how to service it, and we're going to show you how it was made, and well, if it's the same kind of setup as the Ambassador, we'll let you know that too. There's a little C-clip here that holds the gear sleeve onto the gear post. Be very careful as you remove that. They're hard to find and they fly easily. And well, while I take off these exterior pieces and parts, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. That little piece goes under the clip. And if you do subscribe to my channel, please use that notification button. That'll let you know when I'm posting. And well, you can determine if that's a reel that you find interesting or would like to learn more about. I work on all kinds of fishing reels. Today it's a round bait casting reel from Daiwa. Tomorrow it might be a low profile bait caster followed by an ocean trolling reel, maybe a surf or a freshwater spinning reel. You're kind of looking over my shoulder in my shop, and well, whatever shows up I try to do the videos for most of the time if I don't have them in my library. So maybe you can learn along with me as we do these reels. Well, I've removed the star adjuster. That should enable me to remove the case now. Sometimes the whole case will come off, sometimes it's just the face that comes off. And so I like to take that star adjuster off either way. If it's the whole case that's coming off, you got to take it off eventually anyway. But sometimes you'll find that you can't get the case off with that star adjuster on. All right, here's 2, here's 3. Let's see if the whole case comes off or just yeah, the whole case is going to come off on this. I want to take the spool off at this point. That was a tough fit there. There's a bushing inside the spool, not a bearing. And well, as I tell folks, they can leave the line on and that's fine. Sometimes the line is a little bit over capacity in terms of how it was set, and that tends to trap on the way back in. So I'm going to take a rubber band and I'm going to tie down those the line so that it doesn't jam me on the way back in. Well, there's nothing really on the other side. We'll open it up to show you, but you don't really need to service much over there. And we have 3 screws that are holding this side plate on. It's easier to do this now than it is after you put the other side plate back. When you take these off, note if they're all the same screws or if they're different screws. If they're different screws, you're going to want to note where the oddball screw is, or 2 or 3, so that when you go to reinstall, you put them in the proper places. Okay. So as I mentioned, there's really nothing going on inside the case. You do just want to take this off so that you can check to make sure that the idler gear is got all of its teeth. That would cause a problem if any of the teeth were missing. You do not need to remove the springs or anything on the click mechanism, but for those of you that may be watching this video because you did and you can't figure out how they go, we'll just take a moment to show you that here. And then all I need to do is an oil on the plastic gear, an oil on the worm gear drive. We've pretty much got that set up, and we can just go back and put the cover back on. Line that up with the screw holes and put the screws back in the hole. Doesn't really matter what sequence you work on the reel. That's kind of one of preference. Today it just kind of got me to say, why don't we go over there? I know nothing's going on this side, but why not go over there and just show you what's in there. Now, of course, if your click wasn't working, if you had a noise coming from this side, if you had a skip in a line guide performance that you suspected was your idler gear, well, in all those cases, of course, you want to start over here, try and narrow down what the issues are and get them repaired. But it's up to you in terms of which way you want to do that. All right, we're going to just remove this cover here. Of course, I got that right in the wrong spot. I'm going to take my spool assembly and put that back in so that I can twirl it and move the line guide over. I want to remove the pawl cap so that I can get to service the pole. To do that, you take a screwdriver in the bottom of the cap, pull that out. And then you'll have access to the pawl, and this pawl is dirty. So what you want to do, you want to check when you get the pawl, two things. You got to get the dirt off the collar here, because that's going to back up on the pawl track. So scrape that off, and then check the points. They seem to be okay. And if they do, all you have to do is put the pawl back in. Put a little bit of drop of oil on there. Turn the spool a little bit until that pawl seats in the worm gear. You'll feel that click down just like I did there. And you can put the cap back on, using your hand strength as much as you like, because it always winds up in a little bit of an awkward place anyway. I think we're probably going to have to kind of roll with this as it is. I think it may have moved a little bit. Well, we'll adjust that once we have a side plate on. Once you install the pawl cap, come on over and take the two screws. That one was loose. Two screws off the side case. And we should be able to pull up and out, and we'll see if this one's the one that mimics the